Hello, everyone. I don't know why I'm doing this kind of American-y, Canadian kind of voice, um, but yeah, I kind of started off like that. So, yeah, I kind of just went with the flow. You know what I mean? The flow. Anyway, back to Best of British. Yeah, baby. Oh, I'm sure this has like a built-in filter because it actually makes me look half human. Whereas on other things, especially my Snapchat, not good. But then they've got filters. Anyway, so famous for my t-shirt, keep calm, eat a vegan, they taste like chicken. It's like looking over a wall. Um, is my t-shirt for today. And I've kind of worked out that vegans are sort of the arch enemies of what are we called? Ketos, us ketos, or ketogenics. Because if you think about it, we're prompted to eat as much meat, well, maybe not as much meat, but lots of protein. Whereas obviously vegans can't eat fucking anything, like at all. So yeah, we're kind of like the arch nemesis, and like enemies of vegans. So anyway, yeah, t-shirt, keep calm, eat a vegan, out of focus. They taste like chicken. So today's Monday. Um, it's the end of week 10 and it's the start of week 11. Week 10 was a bit of a funny week, got to be honest. I felt in general everything went really good. I felt diet wise was good. I felt training wise was good. Obviously, start of a new month with my zone band. It gives me all sorts of targets, and I think I'm off to a good start for the month on day 9 today. Um, just going back to the diet, one problem I have at the moment, I'm not going to deny it, is a financial situation where I can't afford to buy all that I would like to buy. There are some things I think that I've prioritized, MTC oil being one of those for my coffees. But there are other things that certainly last week was probably not the first week it had impacted, but sort of like really did. Big thanks to my mum, else I wouldn't have eaten at all. I would have been on a whole different diet. I would have been on the gonna die soon diet because I wouldn't have been eating. But my mum, bless her, bailed me out with some rather nice meals. Um, but yeah, so I have noticed my ketones have come back down to where I didn't want them to be, the 0.4s, 0.5s, 0.6s. Blood sugars are still staying fairly low, even though they've peaked a little bit. I attribute this to the fact that I've now got rid of my slow release insulin completely. I was down to 4 units, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I think in getting rid of it now completely, plus the fact that all of my other diabetic medication has been reduced by 60%, somewhere around 60%. I think I've finally found the kind of plateau of where I need to be with my medication, certainly at the moment. Whether that comes down in the future, we'll wait and see. But I've got no more plans to reduce my medication up till when I have my HbC1, whatever it's called, my blood test basically, to see what my average is over the last 12 to 13 weeks. I've got no plans to reduce it anymore. And as I say, if I do reduce it in the future, I think it'll have to be a very gradual process because I think I've kind of reached the plateau of the amount of Humulin insulin that I'm taking, which is 2 lots of 10 units a day. The metformin, 2 lots of 500 milligram, and 2 lots of glycoside, which is 80 milligrams each time. But as I say, all of that has come down by at least half. Sorry, I've just got to send someone a message because one sec. I'm going to lie. I'm going to tell them I'm on the phone. So, Alina, Harris, if you watch this video, I told you a lie. I'm not on the phone. I'm doing a video. Should have just said I'm doing a video. Now, oh, all right. I'm not going to lie. I'm just doing my video. Won't be long. Right. So yeah. Blood sugars just peaked a little bit, and when I say peaked, they're up to like 6s and 7s, where they were like 4s and 5s, which if anything was probably too low, hypo territory, even though they weren't really suffering from any hypo symptoms. They've now gone up to 6 to 7-ish. I still get the odd one down in the 4s and 5s, but I think because I've got rid of that slow release insulin and everything else has come down by at least 50% and more, I think we found that plateau. So it was a pretty good week, week 10. There was one bad day. I didn't give in to temptation. I didn't have a lapse. How, I still don't know. I had a mad urge. And I mean a real craving, a real bad boy, you know, I was going to go the whole hog, basically. I wanted good old traditional British dish of fish and chips. Funny enough, I had fish that night planned anyway. Nice cod loins, some nice king prawns, cheese sauce, some chorizo. I've posted it a few times. It's one of my go-to meals. But no, in my head, I'd set my heart on fish and chips. You know, certainly, you know, not great keto meal there. Mushy peas. I wanted a portion of mushy peas. I wanted pickled onions. Probably about the most keto thing on the plate, I think. And I even was going to go to the degree of bread and butter. Now, obviously, I've been pretty good with my carbs. I believe I've, on most days, maintained my carbs around 20 to 30. Oh, sorry, everyone. I'm a bit of a mess. I've just had my dinner. Can't get rid of it. Won't go. It's determined not to be eaten. Gone. It's not gone. So yeah, 20 to 30 grams of carbs, I believe I've been pretty strict on. And I don't know, I'm not even going to guess how much that little lot would have hit me back. A good 200 plus grams. But we literally walked down the stairs, not joking, with every intention of asking my dad to go and get me it. Managed somehow to resist and add what I said, my cod loin, my prawns. It was beautiful. Oh, nice cheese sauce, chorizo sausage on it. Oh, to die for. But yeah, so that was kind of the first real craving and near lapse that I've had in the 10 weeks I've been doing it. So where am I? Diet, yes, all going to plan, apart from, as I say, struggling financially to maintain it. Ketones, didn't say it right. Ketones, suffering a little bit because of that, not really seeing the numbers that I wanted, and the blood sugars have come up a little bit. So when I talk about the GKI readings, where I was having such low blood sugars, even though my ketones were better than what they are now. I mean, they were sort of like around 1.5 to 3, which is obviously that optimal level that I want them at. The fact that my blood sugars were so low really meant that my GKI was amazing. My GKI readings were amazing. Like some of the times they were down as low as 1.2. Anything under 3 is deemed as you being in a really good state of ketosis. So 1.2 is amazing. Obviously, now that my blood sugars have shot up a little bit and the ketones have come down a little bit, I'm barely going into ketosis. So a little bit disappointed about that. I would love and I'm going to name drop just in case they see this and think, oh, we'll send him some anyway. I know that's not going to happen. I would love to buy some of the perfect keto products, and be able to supplement my ketones with those. But when I worked out the total cost, it come out at £123 for what in effect is 2 weeks supply. And I just can't, by any stretch of the imagination, justify that. So that's going to have to wait. So I guess the question to really see how last week really went is to see where we are with our weight. If you remember when we weighed in a couple of weeks ago, I'd hoped, sorry, not a couple of weeks ago, 1 week ago. It's the 9th of September today. This was on the 2nd of September, so exactly 1 week ago. I had hoped to have gone into the 17 stone bracket, but had hit 18 stone dead. I think the thing that worried me is my body fat had gone up by quite a bit. But again, as I explained last time, I had to weigh in on the 2nd on a boot scale, whereas I had been weighing in on the gym scale. Even though it's exactly the same type of scale, I have found with them, I've used 3 different ones so far, 2 different ones at 2 different boots, and the one at the gym, that there is a slight discrepancy. So when I looked back and I saw when I did both on the same day, I noticed that the discrepancy meant that actually my body fat percentage hadn't jumped as much as I panicked and thought it had. But it was still up a little bit, which I'd kind of lost a bit of weight. What had I gone down? 4 pounds? Yeah, 4 pounds. So the weigh-in 2 weeks prior to that, I'd lost 4 pounds in 2 weeks, basically. So, and that's nice. If I, in all honesty, if I can lose between 1 to 2 pounds a week, I'd ideally like to lose an average of 1.5 pounds a week over time. Then I'd be really happy. And the target that I set myself at the end of last week's video was the fact that I had 16 weeks to go until the 23rd of December, 2 days prior to Christmas. I do intend to have some treats over the Christmas period. Not crazy, not every day, but certainly, you know, the main sort of like Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. So 5 days I'm saying that I'm going to allow myself a little bit of freedom. So with 16 weeks to go until then, I set myself a target of losing 24 pounds. And obviously the math there is it's £1.5 pounds a week. I think if I could lose 24 pounds in 16 weeks, from where I am or where I was last Monday, 18 stone, that would take me down to 16.4. That would certainly be the lowest I've been in a long time, and I'm feeling pretty good about that. You know, if I can do that 16 weeks, lose that 20, I would be so happy. I can't tell you. So I guess that brings us to the unveiling of where we are today. So it's a week on. We was 18 stone. We had hoped last Monday to go into the 17 stone somethings. Here we are. Now, I made a point, because of the mess up last week of not being able to weigh in at the gym and only weighing in at boots, I made a point of weighing in at both. Sorry, the reason I've just got thrown is I've seen the result. Sad face. Sad face. Basically, droplet, it's saying still 18 stone. It does say I'm 5'11", which is fucking amazing because there's no way I am 5'11". But it does say 18 stone. It says the exact weight 114.7 kilograms. Now, why that is so frustrating, let me tell you why that's so frustrating. When I started this 10 weeks ago, I was 18.3. I put £7 on the first week I did it. Didn't make any sense to me. I lost massive amount of body fat, but I put £7 on. So I jumped to 18.10. So I guess in my heart of hearts, I'm trying to tell myself I've lost £10 when I know in effect I've only lost 3 in 10 weeks. Okay, rewind. Reel it in. As I've said many times, weight is not the only issue. Weight on my list of reasons I'm doing this is number 5. So there are more important things. But the hard work that's going in, the sweat that is going in, surely has to get me more than clarity, more than just parity, or whatever the word is. So that's a little bit frustrating. Let's look at the other things that it mentions. Body mass index down very slightly. It's saying 35. It was 35.4. Now the one that I'm most interested in, okay, let me just get this right. Body fat percentage 34.7, now down to 33.6. So 1.1% body fat. So okay, now there's some light at the end of the tunnel. It means I'm getting leaner, I'm losing fat, and that's important. Actually, that's not even in my top 5, or it wasn't one of the things I factored in, but that's important. People keep telling me muscle weighs more, so as I'm becoming leaner, I might not lose weight one week because I'm becoming more muscular. The suggestion of me being muscular just makes me chuckle. So looking on the other sheet, now this is where I'm not so happy. It's actually showing me as 18 stone 1, but it's only showing me as 0.1 kilograms difference weight wise. It's got me at 5'10", which I believe is a more accurate reading. I think I'm 5'9", 5'10". As I'm getting older, I seem to be shrinking. So even though this is saying a pound heavier, it's only by 0.1 of a kilogram. So that's not obviously a full pound, if that makes sense. It's saying my body fat 32.8. So that's even lower than the 33.6. And even though, well, it says 34.7 is poor. So at 32.8, I've now crept into, admittedly, the top end of it, but average is 28.6. That's a real big goal for me. If I can get my body fat percentage down to 28.6, I'll be super happy. So yeah, at 32.8, I'm the top end of average, if you want to look at it like that way. I'm in between average and poor. I'm more poor than I am average, and that's in a lot of regards. But yeah, so I just want to check one last thing. Sorry to be all precise and accurate. I'm just looking back 3 weeks ago now, so the 19th of August. And yeah, the readings are pretty similar. So by this, I've lost nearly £4 in 3 weeks, even though arguably I lost £4 in 2 weeks. So that kind of means I've lost nothing this week. Yeah, okay, I can live with this. I can work with this and all of them kind of things. And now I've got them all muddled up. They're all in the wrong order. No, no, 12. 12. So, da, 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 and these two there. Okay. So, mini setback. Still not in the 17 stones, but body fat percentage has come down. So we will keep on track. Obviously, making that target, that 16-week target of losing 24 pounds is going to be a little bit harder. I don't know what I can do. I don't think I can do anything more diet-wise. I don't know if I can do anything more training-wise. I'm hitting all my targets. So I think I need to look at how I'm going to improve the state of ketosis that I'm in. I think that is the be all and end all. You know, I see some people with like urine strips for testing their ketones, and some people are posting ones that are like dark 16, which is the most you can get. It's actually dangerous, certainly for a diabetic like me, to go that deep into ketosis. I'm not for 1 minute looking to do that. But I've obviously got to find a way of getting deeper into ketosis, and I'm struggling because I know the things that it tells you for going into ketosis and for going into ketosis quicker and all of those things, and I think I'm nailing them. So maybe I'm doing something that I don't realize. Maybe having diabetes complicates, you know, going into ketosis. Maybe some of my supplements that I take are causing issues. I don't know, but something is stopping my body from going into ketosis, and I don't really know why. So I'm going to try and investigate that a little bit more in the next week. I don't think I'll have it solved by then necessarily, or maybe I'll have it solved, but maybe I won't have it resolved. Maybe I won't be able, you know, maybe I do need to get some perfect ketone products and start supplementing my ketones. Maybe I need to take more MTC oil in my keto coffee. I don't know, but from a diet perspective, I can't see where I'm having carbs. Baffling. Anyway, that's enough. This one's going to be a fairly short video, certainly under 30 minutes. Yay! I hear you all say. So thanks very much for watching. If anyone wants to comment, got any ideas, certainly on me getting into ketosis and starting to lose a little bit more weight, do let me know. Would love to hear your ideas. And apart from that, everyone stay safe. Give those that you love a big hug, and I'll be back next week with an update as to what's happened